Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing a book review for Warcross by Marie Lu. I'm really excited to talk about this one because I thoroughly enjoyed this book and I just want everyone to read it. So I'm going to let you know a little bit about what it's about, do some discussion, tell you a little bit of the plot summary, and then at the very end there will be like probably only a minute or so of spoilers, but I will give you fair warning of when that's coming because I would not want to ruin this for anybody. So the book follows Emika Chen, who is a teenager and she is really struggling to make ends meet. She's having a lot of difficulty trying to pay her rent. Because Emika is a hacker, she has taken a job as a bounty hunter within the game of Warcross. Warcross is a virtual reality game that has just taken the entire planet by storm. It's been popular for 10 years as of when this novel takes place, so that's actually a lot of longevity for a game like that, which is really cool. So every year there are championships, and you can think of them kind of as the Olympics because there are stadiums full of virtual people that sign in order to watch these games get played. There are different teams, and the teams are the ones that compete against each other, and whichever team gets to the top will be the winner of the championships. During the first night of the championships, Emika sees this opportunity and she accidentally glitches herself into the game in an attempt to make some quick cash and solve some of her problems, but she's not expecting everyone in the game to just see her, so then she's like, oh no, I'm clearly gonna get arrested. So she immediately logs out of the game, and then she kind of goes into hiding and just avoids her cell phone, avoids the news, avoids everything because she's like, I'm in so much trouble and I need to put this off for as long as I can. But it turns out that that mistake of hers actually lands her an invitation from Hideo Tanaka himself, who is the creator of Warcross. He invites her to come and partake in the Warcross championships as the wildcard player for the year. That is kind of her cover, but she's actually there to find a security breach that's happened within the game. He wants a hacker that is the best of the best, and Emika really is that. So he hires her along to figure out what it is that is threatening the safety of the people in Warcross. Obviously, Emika accepts this and she is just swept away to Tokyo, and that is where all of the games begin. Literally. For the spoiler-free discussion, this is what I will say. The first 2 chapters of this book are so exciting. The events that lead you up to Emika getting to Tokyo are really thrilling, and as soon as you read those 2 chapters, you'll be like, all right, I gotta keep going, because you'll just need to know what is gonna happen. One of the things that I really loved about this book is that it takes place in Tokyo, but not just any Tokyo, it's a futuristic Tokyo, and everything is just so vividly described, and you can just picture all of the bright neon colors and all of the flashing lights and just everything, because Tokyo already is so cool and so extra. So for 10 years in the future to have all of this technology to make it even more of that was just so cool to me. I actually had the opportunity to talk to Marie because I went to the Penguin Teen breakfast during BEA, and she said that she actually visited Tokyo and visited Akihabara and everything when she was planning this novel. So that was really cool that all of the things that you hear about in here are actual landmarks and actual sites and stuff. The story itself reminded me a lot of Sword Art Online. If you're familiar with that anime, it is one of my favorites, and I think that is also partially why I loved this book so much, because it just made me think of that. It's still totally separate and still totally its own story. It's not the same thing at all. There were definite parallels between the two. And then I also have to say that I really loved Emika as a character. I thought that she was so well done because she is the super talented, super intelligent hacker, and that is never glossed over, and she's always thinking steps and steps ahead of people, and it's really cool to just be in her mind and to just see her thought process. And to everyone else in the game, she is a wild card, but you get that insight into what she's thinking and what she's planning and the motivations behind the things that come out of her that just shock other people. She also has rainbow hair, which is very cool. And another thing about her is that she is really brave, in my opinion. The fact that she is a bounty hunter and she's out like catching criminals is really cool. But then on top of that, there are other situations that arise where she is just not afraid to put herself like in the forefront of action. She has a very good head on her shoulders and she is genuinely interested in finding out the truth and in doing what is right. I really, really cannot wait to see what's going to happen to Emika is in the next novel. Then we have Hideo Tanaka, and I also really loved Hideo so much. So he is this young billionaire that created this game, and he is very quiet and stoic, and he has a really close-knit circle of people that he trusts and communicates with, but he is not someone that is excessively verbose. He is very minimal on the speaking, very minimal on offering other people information, and he's also really intelligent, and he has all of these ideas in his head, and the fact that he's been able to make some of them come to fruition with Warcross is really impressive, especially for how young he is. And I think that that's also partially why Emika is so drawn to him, even before she gets his invitation to go and take part in the Warcross championships. She would always be like reading magazine articles about him because she just found him fascinating. So it's really cool to get to see like how that perception changes from what the media portrays to like when she actually gets to meet him, what's accurate, what's inaccurate. And then thirdly, for characters, I want to talk about Asher, who is the team captain. I really enjoyed him. He is a really good, like really born leader. He's very much invested in making sure that every single member of his team is able to grasp what they're doing and able to rely on one another and able to trust each other, because they have to do that in order to be able to win the championships. And he really just inspires like that like team bond between everybody. The activities that he plans for them, like one of the things that he does is he has them all play Mario Kart together every night, which is so fun because that really is very good practice. It's competitive, but it's still friendly competition between them. Another really exciting thing about Asher is that he is this really strong, really amazing team captain, and he is disabled. So it has really great representation within the book. Just because you might have some type of physical disability doesn't mean that you can't be so awesome. Asher, amazing. There's also queer representation within the book, as well as Emika is Chinese American, so she is biracial, and Marie Lu is Chinese, so it's also own voices. The two other things that I will say about this before I jump into the little spoilery section is that first of all, there's an amazing World of Warcraft reference in here, and I cannot wait to see if other people get it. And the other thing that I wanted to say is that all of the levels within Warcross were so cool. I had listened to a podcast with Marie Lu like a long time ago, and she talked about how before she became a writer, she actually worked in video game design, and I think that that really shines through in Warcross, like the amount of detail that she puts into these levels and boards that she created. It's like very evident that she has a really strong working knowledge of video games. So I think that that really added to my enjoyment of the novel and to just my overall love of Warcross in general. And okay, so the one thing that I will say is that I feel like we could have gotten a little bit more of the other Phoenix Riders, the other people that were on Emika's team. But because Emika was hired to figure out the security breach, she really was working alone, and she really wasn't able to fully trust anyone or to really let herself get very close to anyone else in case they were involved in this security threat. So I think that that's why some of them weren't as developed as some people may have hoped for them to be. But I'm really confident that we're going to get more of them once the second book comes out. Oh, duh. Okay, so I obviously love this book. I obviously gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I think, yeah, I thought that was obvious, but I should say that. So just to wrap up, Warcross, super cool game. I mean, super cool book, video games, girl with rainbow hair that's a really intelligent hacker, and a super awesome Japanese businessman that created this all. So yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. In my opinion. And that's all that I'm going to say right now for the spoiler-free things, but I am going to go into some spoilers right now. So if you have not yet read Warcross, either pause the video or like turn it off until you have read it and then you can come back to it. But for those of you who have read it, here we go. I really struggle about my feelings toward Hideo because obviously I loved him. Like, I loved him throughout the whole novel. You find out what he's trying to do and why his brother Sasuke is the one that is the threat to him. You're just like, my feelings are so conflicting because I still love him, but like I know what he's doing is wrong. So it's really hard to come to terms with that. When I was reading my original theory, I knew that Sasuke had to be involved somehow. I just wasn't certain how he was going to play into it. My original guess was that Sasuke was assuming the identity of Hideo and that Hideo was the one that was a security threat, but obviously that did not happen. I liked that path. I initially thought that Hideo was going to be the one that was the villain of the story, but I didn't want to believe it. Like, I knew it. And I even texted Alexa while I was reading and I was like, it's him, isn't it? And she was just like, because she's good about not spoiling things. I did see that coming, but I still really enjoyed it. And like I said, I really liked his character. So I really still like him despite that being the case. I think like part of it too is that he just has such a sad backstory when it comes to his brother getting kidnapped that you really start to feel for him, and you can really see that his motivations for doing what he's doing are coming from a good place, no matter how misguided they might be. He is like your perfect anti-hero. Also, I felt like tricked into loving him so much because it's so cool that he developed this great technology and he's just sending it out for free because he wants all of these people to be involved and to have the accessibility to be able to play Warcross. And I was just like, wow, that's like such a, like, that's what a great person that he would do that and that he would like send these out to people. And then you're like, oh, I get it now. So that did end up taking away from it afterward, but initially I was just like, oh, Hideo. I thought that the romance between Emika and Hideo was really cute. It wasn't anything that I was like super fully invested in, but I did like it, and now I'm really interested to see how Emika's gonna handle everything in the next book, because obviously she like has feelings for this guy, and what is she gonna do? Like, it's really hard, but I think that she's obviously gonna do the right thing, and I'm assuming she's gonna team up with Sasuke, but time will tell. And then the last thing that I want to say is I just want to let it be known here and now that for the second novel, since I first finished reading it, my heart is set on the title being Darkcross. I really, really hope that they title book 2 Darkcross, because they mention it as like the secret underground of the world. They call it the Darkcross that like you can't really see. It's really if you like dig deeper in there. And Emika logs into it at one point, and I just think that that would be the perfect title, because I feel like we're going to be getting to know more of this bad world that exists within this good world, although the lines are clearly blurred there. That is all that I have for this review. I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about, hopefully. And if you have not read Warcross, I definitely suggest doing so. But if you've watched to this point, then hopefully you have. Otherwise, I've just ruined everything for you, and I am so sorry. That's all that I have for this video, and I will see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!